Hello and welcome to my F1 25 driver career mode, here today for part 35 for the Austrian Grand Prix, where we will be racing in reverse for the very first time. So we come into qualifying now ahead of the Austrian Grand Prix, and we've gone very deep at what is the old term for the right way round. Very tight corner, that one. As now at the end of our first lap into the final corner, it's a very fast track backwards is Austria, as now we come down the pit straight, the line right at the end of it, and that first lap is going to put us only P21. We've gone again at the end of the session, we've got a bit of a tow from Antonelli. We've found nearly half a second on this lap, as now we come up to the line. We cross it, finally we cross it, and we only go P18. We've gone again on the same set of tyres, still getting a lovely tow from Antonelli. We've found 3/10 now, coming out of the final corner, and now down the hill rather than up it, but it's only good enough for P17. So it's a pretty shocking qualifying. We did have an incredibly worn engine, 73% was the wear on the ICE, and beans as we're at the back, we might as well take an entire new engine ahead of the race, because we might need one come at the end of the season, and in this close championship battle it's going to be crucial that we don't have any reliability issues. So this is the grid then ahead of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's going to be pole position for Oscar Piastri, and it's Alex Albon alongside him, a great qualifying for him in the Williams. Then it's Lando Norris and Piers, George Russell, and it's a great qualifying for Gasly, Sainz and our teammate Leclerc, Hakkinen and Colapinto round out the top 10. Then it's Hayes and Bortoleto, Villeneuve and Max Verstappen, Behrman and Kimi Antonelli, Tsunoda and Ocon, Doohan and Lawson, and on the final row of the grid, both of us with penalties, we are alongside Nico Hülkenberg. So the cars made their way onto the grid now. Leclerc hasn't taken full advantage of what is a big open goal for him this weekend. The gap, 29 points in the championship. He has a good opportunity today. It's going to be a one-stop race. We're on the hard tyres. The 5-foot lights are on. It's a long hold, but they're out, and we're racing backwards in Austria, and we haven't got the best of launches off the line. We're going to have to be late on the brakes into turn 1. Trying to go, Hülkenberg pushes us wide. We hit the brake marker board there, but we still managed to get around the outside of a couple of cars. Going out of the second corner now, we're right on top of the curb. We're nearly wheel to wheel with Behrman as we try and pull our way alongside. We are going to be late on the brakes though. Behrman though is going to try and hold it all the way around the outside. We've just got our nose ahead. Behrman though keeping his foot in. Fair play on Behrman, but we've had a snap of oversteer. Behrman goes back through, and now in the dirty air of that red door at the road, we've dipped a wheel into the gravel and understeered wide. We've lost out a couple of places that we gained on the opening couple of corners. It's a great first lap though of action, and we're going to be late on the brakes, trying to get round the outside of Behrman once again. We're going to be 3 wide with the Mercedes of Antonelli on the inside, and we have done both of them around the outside. What a move that is. Next down the road is Yuki Tsunoda, who's going wheel to wheel with the other half of Esteban Ocon. We're going to look to the inside, look to the outside, look back to the inside, but go to the outside of the Haas. Late on the brakes, try and keep it pinned around the outside. Can we do it? We're just on the track. Ocon though keeps it pinned, but eventually he has to give up, and we take that place, and we're up to P16 on the end of lap 1. Now on to lap 3, they're battling just in front of us. It's Tsunoda and Bortoleto and one of the Aston Martins. Tsunoda tries to go to the inside of Bortoleto. We're going to take a wider line, get an unbelievable exit, and do another double move. It was the outside on lap 1, it's the inside on lap 3, and we've moved up now to the verges of the top 10. Next up the road is the Aston Martin of Max Verstappen, but is Tsunoda going to have his back here, heading towards turn 1? He's alongside us, but he's pitched himself right to the inside, and he's going to back out of that one as we have a little look at the Aston Martin of Max Verstappen. We've had a bit of a twitch there, going on to the back straight towards turn 3, the right way round. We're going to have to be super late on the brakes here if we want to get the Aston Martin, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Down the inside, we nearly hit the back there of our former teammates. Villeneuve coming out of the corner. We're going to have a good run on him now. Colapinto's being absolutely mugged by the two RBs. We're going to have a look to the inside, but we've really pitched ourselves. We've gone bouncing over the curb there, but we are going to have to give up. Now we're on the back of Colapinto, coming out of turn 3 backwards, the penultimate corner this way round, and we're getting closer and closer to the Aston Martin. We've already ticked one Aston off today, and we're going to try and tick off the other one. There's contact though with Colapinto, and now it's going to be a drag race down towards the first corner of the track, going on to lap 6 now. We're not giving up, Colapinto's not giving up, but we're going to give Colapinto a big elbow and make him back out of that one. And now up the road in front of us is the two RBs battling away. Villeneuve trying to get past Hakkinen. Hakkinen now going to try and hold on. Villeneuve still at the inside. Can one of them get ahead? Yes, he can. Great move there by Villeneuve. And now we're on the back of our RB replacement, Mika Hakkinen. To the inside we go, and we get the job done there. We've had a big oversteer moment there, which was going to allow Hakkinen to get back up the inside of us, but he can't get the exit, and we take that place. And now up the road next is Villeneuve, who are going to try and get down the inside and go into the top 10. And now we're caught at the back of Pierre Gasly. We are flying in the open stint on hard tyres as well, so we really need to be looking after these, but we are much quicker than these cars as we blast past the Alpine there and get the job done. And now down the road next is George Russell, who we were struggling to catch. We pulled away from Gasly, we were slowly pulling away from him, but we just couldn't catch George Russell, who was right on the back of the apex of Sonny Hayes, who didn't have the best of paces. George doing the same strategy as us. He's also on the hard tyres, so we are just kind of managing the tyres now, bringing them in, as George now is right on the back of Sonny Hayes. This is the battle for P7 in the race. Is George going to get past here, heading down towards the final corner of the lap? He's going to go to the outside. Is George, can he keep it pinned around the outside? Yes, he can, and it's a good move there by George. Sonny Hayes has to back out of that one. And now we were catching Sonny Hayes a lot quicker than we were catching George. George was pulling away, so this kind of just became our race now after a dramatic opening couple of laps, getting our way through the slower cars, which was very much needed. Mark telling us to push, but we really need to be looking after the tyres here. That's not the wisest of decisions at this stage of the race. Just 15 laps in, as this is now for the lead of the race, Lando Norris getting the job done on Alex Albon, as our teammate Charles Leclerc comes into the pits to make his one and only stop of the day. Starting P8, he's got his way onto the podium. He could take some big points out of us today, as he's come out behind Sainz, who's going to peel into his pit box, as you might have just seen us go through there. And I was really hoping to have another battle with Leclerc this weekend, but he's just got too much pace. Qualifying has hurt us, but ultimately taking his new engine could help us out come Abu Dhabi potentially. So we're going to take some pain in this race, but hopefully we've got some pace later on to close in on those in front and make sure the point swing isn't as big. 29 points is the gap in the championship. Currently, we've lost so much time to Leclerc though. He gained 4 seconds on us in 2 laps on those fresh tyres, and we are going to have to pretty much let him through here, which is very painful to say, but we'll battle him, I'm sure, much more coming up this season. We've already battled him a lot, but it's a fight today that we don't need we're fighting George, who now is being overtaken by Charles Leclerc. There's contact between them as George got front wing damage. Leclerc kind of moving over into the side of the Mercedes there, giving him front wing damage. Has he lost an end plate? I think he might have done there. As he peels off into the pits goes George. We are going to follow him. It's our one and only stop of the day if everything goes to plan, and the hard tyres will go off our Ferrari and the mediums will go on to get us to the end of this race. Just 16 laps to go. Can we catch George? Can we overtake him? Can we get further down the road and limit this points gap to Leclerc that is coming today? As we come out of the pits now, and we're going to be beaten out by the Alpine of Gasly, who we were about 3 seconds up the road from when he pitted, but he's massively undercut us there. So was one of the RBs, that is Villeneuve, but it hasn't taken us long on our fresh tyres to recatch the Alpine here, as now we head down the hill towards the final corner of the lap. We're getting closer and closer. We're going to try and get Gasly here around the outside at the final corner, and we do get the job done. And now we can set our sights once more in this race on the Mercedes of George Russell, who is really struggling. I think he has got some major front wing damage as he kind of lets us through there, doesn't really defend that. We've pinched him to the inside and we get past George there and we're flown away from him. He has got big damage from that incident with Leclerc, I'm sure. And now we're all over the back of our former teammate once again of Villeneuve to the inside of turn 1, and we get the job done. That is crucial. And now up the road for us next is the pole sitter in this race, Oscar Piastri. Charles Leclerc though currently leading the Grand Prix, but going wheel to wheel with Albon, and the Williams of Albon round the outside takes the lead of the Grand Prix. As there's a big engine failure there for Kimi Antonelli with just 10 laps to go. He was on for a decent result, but that Mercedes engine has gone bang and his day is over. But Alex Albon leads the race, and now we were massively pulling away from those behind, but we just couldn't get the gap down to the McLaren of Oscar Piastri, who's something big's happened to him. He started on pole and currently P7, but he is flying as he did start to pull away from us, and he's caught the apex of Sonny Hayes and he's going to do him around the outside at the final corner. Lovely move there by Piastri, and then he caught the back of the other apex of Piers, and now into the penultimate corner round the outside there. Lovely move. And now can he catch Carlos Sainz in the, with just 1 lap to go? But up front, Williams have waited years and years. It's 2027. 2012 was their last win, but finally they're on the top step again. Williams win with Alex Albon the Austrian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is going to finish P2, Lando Norris P3, but who is going to finish P4? And it is Oscar Piastri who gets Sainz for P4 at the final corner. We didn't have the pace of those in front today, but we are going to come from last to finish P8 and get a crucial points today.
What a drive, what a performance, what a victory for Alex Albon.
To overcome the difficult circumstances they faced throughout this race today, it's not easy, and it really shows a lot of maturity, and you can use this, you can draw on this as a driver moving forward and boost your confidence through the rest of the championship.
The top 3 have scrapped on the racetrack. They will now line up next to each other, the best of this race. And what a moment for Alex Albon, who's taking to the top step.
So that has been then your Austrian Grand Prix. Williams back on the top step in Formula 1 with Alex Albon winning for the first time since 2012 with Pastor Maldonado. Charles Leclerc was leading the race for the majority, lost out and couldn't re-overtake the Williams. Lando Norris P3 and Oscar Piastri getting Sainz at the final corner for P4, Sainz P5, and we came home from starting stone dead last to finish P8. Probably the best we could have asked for today. We just didn't have the pace of those in front. I thought we could maybe catch Hayes, but we didn't have the pace in the end. Down at the back there was one retirement, that being Kimi Antonelli with just 10 laps to go. So it was Ollie Behrman who finishes last on the road, taking a 10-second penalty as well. So in terms of the Drivers' World Championship now, it's a 14-point swing back to Charles Leclerc. 15 points is the gap now. It was 29 coming into this race. Hopefully this weekend is just a one-off and we can get that gap back out. We though have a 52-point lead over Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri is P4 and Alex Albon with that win jumps Yuki Tsunoda into P5 in the Drivers' Championship. And then down at the back there's still multiple drivers still yet to score this season, and it is still Jack Doohan in the Alpine who is bottom of the table. So that good result for McLaren today means that they have closed in on us in the constructors. 96 points is the gap. It was 101 coming into this race. Williams with that win move up into P3, Apex down to P4, and Red Bull round out the top 5, and it is still just Sauber who are still yet to score. So that has been then your Austrian Grand Prix. I hope you have enjoyed it. The championship is heating up. It swung back to Leclerc as we go into our home Grand Prix next time out at Silverstone, where like here in Austria we'll be racing in reverse. I'll see you then. Goodbye.